Due to climate change, northern sea route becomes more transversable year after year. However, there are no reliable forecasts that ensure a safe and timely trip. How to solve that? Well, IceWatch platform offers reliable iceberg and iceberg. IceWatch platform offers reliable iceberg detection and drifting services that can be directly integrated into the navigation systems. In order to launch this solution to the market, we need 350,000 euros for launching costs. Hello, everyone. We are OTB, and we are going to apply the VCW framework to IceWatch, starting with phase 1. So for our value proposition, we know that for our customer, which is the ship traversing the northern sea route, we enable this service that may create gain in terms of route shortening, fuel reductions, and time reductions, as well as reduction of some risks as the piracy risk. On the other hand, we relieve pains in terms of minimizing these risks caused by icebergs and its costs associated. All of this is done never forgetting our sustainability impact regarding the SDGs, the European Green Deal, and also the Paris Agreement. Since we position in a downstream service, these are the technological features that are most relevant for us, being that the algorithm processing of the CNC algorithm and also the satellite sensoring. This is our market integrated in the bigger dimensions of the global Earth observation markets, and also thinking about some possible target markets, we understand that we may approach all the individuals or companies that are currently or that prospect to traverse the northern sea routes, such as freight companies, scientific vessels, touristical vessels, and some others. So it's important now to take a look at the macro environment, and what we see is that at the first place, the sea ice is melting, and due to that, this northern sea route is becoming, as we said, more transversable year after year, and this is particularly important, making the connection between the Southeast Asia and Northern Europe. Why is that good? Because the trade is growing between these regions, as you can see by these numbers that are about even the distance sailed by bulk carriers and the whole trade volume that is growing between Southeast Asia and Northern Europe. At the same time, our specific Earth observation sector is also developing in terms of revenue globally, but also in what concerns the startups investment that is growing with double-digit growth rates, which is a good opportunity for us. Well, speaking specifically about our industry, we know that there are huge barriers to this industry, which means that the threat of new entrants is low, being good for us. On the other hand, we know that supplier power is high because we are highly dependent on the satellite's outputs, and also these suppliers are highly concentrated. And if we wanted to switch, it would implicate some huge costs for us. The buyer power is medium. In fact, these buyers are also highly concentrated, and we have a moderate risk of vertical integration. Finally, speaking about the substitutes, the fact is that there are, in fact, various substitutes. However, these substitutes are not good enough for our customers, which means that this threat is just medium low for us. Ending all of this, we finish with a medium-low competitive rivalry, since there is a few direct competition, but we are in a fast-growing industry, and we have some differentiation between the competitors. Regarding the competitors, we can see here many projects that may interfere and also serve our customer, even if some not entirely in a direct way. And we finish our analysis understanding that HiCC Hub is our main competitor that we'll take into account further. So joining to these previously explained analysis, we added some internal factors that make strengths like the existing partnerships with satellite midstream service providers, and also some weaknesses that include our technical competencies and industry expertise that our team needs to hire, because we don't have it at this point. And so regarding all of that, we built our SWOT analysis. And based on this SWOT analysis, we were able to choose some points from our strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities, and design some strategies according to that. Finally, having clear our vision, that is to enable faster, shorter, and more sustainable shipping routes between Southeast Asia and European Union while maintaining high safety for crew and vessels, having into account our mission and our objective, that is to find a suitable target market to roll out our solution and expand our service. Then we defined some KPIs, some metrics for short-term, mid-term, and long-term that would help us to, in fact, measure our accomplishment of this objective along the way. For phase 2, our solutions that we considered were all the United Nations member states. And for the criterias, we used the 6-3-5 method, and we could bring 62 filters to our project, divided into categories like technology, economy, geography and environment, political and societal, as well as competition.
In phase 3, we then tried to boil down these 62 filters to a few selected ones, and we did that by gathering feedback from our midterm presentation, but also combined this with further research, especially regarding data availability for our filters. Also, we used the POCR method then to evaluate and further specify the given filters. And lastly, our KDM, key decision maker, decided upon the most relevant filters. This led us to 11 global and 3 local filters. The 11 local filters, global filters, were we could categorize in 3 categories. Firstly, we have 6 product-related filters. First of all, whether or not the Northern Sea route is relevant to a country, then the linear shipping connectivity, displaying how well a country is connected to the global shipping network. Thirdly, the logistics performance index. This represents an index which evaluates how well a country manages its logistic facilities. Fourthly, the exports of goods and services. Fifthly, the container port traffic for a specific country. And the 6th filter was the merchandise trade as percentage of the GDP. We then also have one sustainability related filter, that is the CO2 emissions from transport that could be reduced through our solution. And lastly, we have 4 business related filters, namely the research and development expenditure as percent of GDP, the number of startup procedures to register a business in a specific country, The 10th filter is the strength of legal rights index, which are also very vital for business. And lastly, how much firms experience electrical outages in a specific country, which is for a data-driven technology company of vital importance. For the local filters, we decided upon 3 filters. Firstly, how many harbors are in a specific region. Secondly, how many shipping companies are in a specific region. And thirdly, how many startups of the top 100 Finnish startup list are in a specific region. This, of course, is due to the fact that for our global filters, we decided upon Finland as our country of focus.
Okay, so now let's talk about the phase 4A. To apply the selected filters and criteria to the selected solution, we apply the multi-criteria decision analysis and the value creation funnel. So, after applying the 11 first global filter to the 193 countries, we arrived at the conclusion of one country, Finland. And after, we applied 3 local filters: number of airports, number of shipping companies, number of startups, and finally, we decided to focus on the final result, Helsinki region. So, with the phase 4B, let's start with a quick description of the city of Helsinki. Helsinki is the capital of Finland, with 642,000 inhabitants in the municipality, and more than 1,400,000 in Greater Helsinki. It is the largest city in Finland. It is spread out on a peninsula surrounded by many islands and is strongly characterized by the presence of water. For example, the whole country is about 2/3 of its territory is water. Finland is open to the Baltic Sea, to the Gulf of Finland and the Gulf of Bosnia. The country is also covered with ice floes and is very sensitive to the melting ice due to global warming. For example, around the city of Helsinki, all the water is frozen in winter, but the city is not paralyzed thanks to icebreakers. Concerning institutions and politics, many institutions are present in the capital, such as Finnish Environment Institute, Finnish Institute of Marine Research, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Moreover, Helsinki is an open merchant port on the Gulf of Finland. In 2020, 30.3 million tons of goods passed through these ports. Helsinki's ports are very important because 50% of the total value of Finnish foreign trade transported by sea passes through the capital. The Finnish population is characterized by its high level of education, its great universities, and its foreign language level, which drives international trade. Helsinki is therefore the most international region of country that is ranked 5th in the world in English level in non-native countries. Finally, Helsinki is a very digitalized city industrially, which is proven by the success story of many Finnish companies, which show the ability of Finnish industry to take the digital turn. Then we will talk about the customer segmentation. Within the scope of potential customers for the Ice Watch platform are all vessels owners that are currently or prospectively traversing the Arctic Ocean and therefore have the need for a counteracting strategy against the harm of iceberg collision. Within those potential customers, it can be differentiated between public bodies and private companies that traverse the Arctic Ocean or organize traversal. Private companies include freight company, private research organization, and touristic companies that operate vessels in the Arctic Ocean. Public organizations include economic and trade bodies that promote trade through the Arctic Ocean, as well as environmental institutions that want to protect the place. For final target, we rather want to focus on private companies rather than public organizations. because this target has more need of our product for its daily activity, as the city of Helsinki is a central port on the Northern Passage, and the city is home to many shipping companies. Choosing private freight companies as a target is the obvious choice. Private freight companies want to traverse through the Arctic Ocean, customer job to be done safely and efficiently. Thus, the offering of precise iceberg detection and drifting service customizable to navigation system integration presents a solution. They have an interest in reducing transport time, cost, and involved risks. Therefore, a financial, viable, and high ease of use solution should be considered. Finally, unreliable and untimely iceberg forecasts resulting in risk and cost can be considered as customer pain, which can be counteracted by implementing reliable and timely iceberg forecasts. So, in Helsinki, IceWatch faced two competitors. The first one is the traditional competitors, the top AZ4 Arctic Ocean system. It is from the European Copernicus program that is working with the University of Helsinki. These competitors use the ECOM model and provide 10 days of forecast of the 3D physical ocean, including sea size. The data assimilation is performed weekly to provide 7 days of analysis. But finally, the main competitors of IceWatch in Helsinki is iSight. In fact, iSight is also a software that obtains near real-time information about the location of iceberg and ice. But this is available for free and only for researchers and scientists. So finally, it's not the same target than us, so it's not a direct competitor.
Now coming to positioning. We took our value creation analysis and derived with 5 categories of value creation to compare us against the 2 competitors in the local market. The categories are precision, customizability, price, ease of use, and timeliness. It can be shown that in all of the categories we score better or the same on the same level as our competitors, meaning that we can target Helsinki as a new market space unattained by competition and use the blue ocean strategy. We then took another step forward in using the 7P analysis. For the price, we derived with a subscription model with monthly payments, with 2 versions that we will explain in more detail on the next slide. Product is obviously a software downloadable with the purchase of the subscription. For the promotion, we want to directly visit transport companies. We want to be present on R&D conferences and other fairs in Helsinki. And there will also be a free access for 1 week to test the product. Place, the product will be sold directly on the company's website. By the process of purchasing the software from the company's website, accessing the link to download it, then receiving an activation code, and then completing the installation. The physical evidence for our product lies in the website and the people that are supporting the company in its striving. The people are obviously us as a team, and furthermore, the help and support in IT knowledge as observation experts, analysts, and engineers, and other roles. For the pricing, we decided on going for a subscription model, differentiated in 2 categories. The standard subscription would cost 999 euros per month and would allow access for up to 2 users. The customer support would only be available on business days from 9 AM to 5 PM. And the data and consultancy service would only be focused on basic data. The premium subscription model would differ in the price, which would be 2,399 euros per month. The company then could have unlimited users, also 24/7 customer support, and could use the data and consultancy service in AI and automatic processes. This all then can be summarized in the business model canvas. With our most important key partner, eGeos, we want to communicate, distribute, sell, and implement the IceWatch platform by using our key resources, the SkyMed satellite constellation, the SaaS sensors, the C-on-C algorithm, as well as our trained personnel. We want to target public or private ship owners and captains that are traversing the Arctic Ocean through direct cold calling and subsequent on-site product presentations, as well as fair presentations and online marketing campaigns. And we want to stay in contact by direct and personal customer service towards vessel owners, captains, and navigating staff and technicians. This all is done for our value proposition that we offer safe and cost-effective fast Arctic traversal due to real-time, reliable, precise, and customizable iceberg detection and drifting services. On the cost side, we mainly have the licensing and service costs towards our main partner, as well as obviously the staff and operational costs for sale and distribution. On the side of our revenues, we mainly get revenue from our monthly subscription models as well as add-ons.
So now, regarding the 3 M's, starting with manpower, to launch the IceWatch project, develop our offer and deliver it, it's necessary to have a crucial employee who meets certain necessary skills. Here is a summary of the different positions needed for the successful implementation of this project. So first we need EO and environmental analyst, an engineer, a business developer and key account manager, marketing manager, financial manager, and IT service and support. Our team is already composed of 4 members with different and complementarity profile. First, Amaryllis, specialist in marketing, Diogo, business analyst, and Noah, specialist in finance. And finally, myself, a specialist in strategy, and therefore business developer. So then we still need to hire 3 employees externally to be able to launch the product, an EO and environmental analyst, an engineer, and a technician to support the IT and support services. Now, regarding minutes, the company's strategic plan is currently a plan until 2023. For doing this, we need first to complete the VCW process and finalize the team, then finalize the negotiation with our partner, then launch the marketing campaign and the product, record the first customer feedback, make some adjustments based on the feedback of this customer. Once the Helsinki market has been conquered, we will be able to target new markets in the first quarter of 2024. Next, for the money, to realize this project, the OTB team need a budget of 350,000 euro. We arrived to this amount of money after estimating the fixed and the variable cost. Then, to raise the necessary money, the OTB has several financing options. If you can go to the next slide. Yeah, thank you. So the first option is to approach Finnish banks and investment funds for a loan. Secondly, the fact that IceWatch is being launched in Finland is an opportunity because Finland offers grants to help startups get started. Moreover, Finland is part of the European Union, so IceWatch can apply to many European initiatives such as Horizon Europe, European Space Agency, or Copernicus Master. Then IceWatch can also apply to some competition like the Airbus Global EO Challenge. Or moreover, IceWatch can appeal for funding by promoting itself to business angels and venture capital funds. And finally, IceWatch can do crowdfunding, like raise fund for the public. Then, regarding KPIs, we set some KPIs to understand our progress. So we put some short, midterm, and long-term KPIs. So there are the different KPIs that we came with. And with that in mind, and after project completion, it become important to establish future quantitative goals. So the team developed 5 goals, having in mind 3 dimensions of success: markets, financial, and customer satisfaction. Therefore, main future objectives are the following: 5 customers by the end of the first year, 20% yearly average growth for the first 5 years, 40% of Finland market share by 2025, reach break-even by 20 and 24, and finally NPS above 80. Then, to conclude this project, we had a problem to find a market for the introduction of IceWatch. And after applying the innovation and value creation wheel, we came to the conclusion that Finland, and more precisely the city of Helsinki, was the target market for this product. Indeed, the port of Helsinki is the central point for the shipping industry on the Northern Passage. Therefore, the city fulfills all the criteria to solve our problem. So the next challenges for OTB and IceWatch are the effective introduction and success of this market entry. Indeed, we have to gain a lot of industry knowledge through this work, but we can always learn more. To do this, the next challenge is to find expert partners in the industry and create a strong relationship with them in order to gain insight and understand the different trends in the market. We have therefore to strengthen our relationship with our customer, as well as create a good R&D team. So as we need to gain expertise and contacts, the managerial implication will be to maintain a relationship and learn from them. In addition, we need to put a lot of emphasis on R&D, so that we are always aware of new trends in order to adapt to change and take advantages of new opportunities for our customer and our company. So now what we learn from the application of the VCW. The study and application of the innovation and value creation wheel has allowed us to improve our problem solving process through this framework. So the main lesson we have learned is to leave room for creativity. Indeed, many ideas are often not considered because some members of a group reject them as soon as someone proposes them. So welcoming all ideas and then filtering them leaves room for imagination, and new solution can be born. So the first point is supported by the fact that this framework is customizable while being structured. Therefore, it leaves the choice of how to use the template to arrive at our solution. And last but not least is the importance of communication and the consideration of several stakeholders Thus, a decision is taken after several discussion and different opinion, which allow a global view of these projects. Thank you.